What's going on, everyone? My name's Pat, and welcome to the channel. So if you check back probably a couple years ago, you'll see that I made some time lapses and stuff, and I tried the YouTube thing, and I was just kind of we were working on this house, and I was kind of in a rush just to get in the house, live in our investment. So I stopped with the content, didn't really keep up with it, and it kind of fell off. But now I'm back. I'm going to try a little bit of different content, more relatable videos, work on my personal projects, stuff like that. For those of you who don't know me, I am a mechanic by trade. I own a shop in southern New Hampshire, and I like different mechanical projects, boats, jet skis, equipment, stuff like that. So I'm going to walk you through some of that stuff and maintenance on some of my newer equipment, working on some of my mini boats, working on jet skis, stuff like that. So stick around, like, share, subscribe, and we'll see where we get. But we'll just kind of jump right into what I'm working on now and what I plan to work on in the future in the next couple weeks, and we'll go from there. But so what I've got today is I have an 89 Kawasaki Jetmate. This one was kind of like a project that I purchased, and it needed a lot of work. Motor wasn't in it. It had a pretty rough interior. The electrical system was pretty shot, and it needed a lot of love. So I've got the motor in it. We've got it cranking. It's got some issues with the e-box here, which I think is going to be fixed with just a new e-box rather than trying to deal with this one. This one's kind of a mess. The previous owner drilled a hole inside of it. So it's kind of a lost cause, but it's got a newer starter solenoid that'll probably swap into a different e-box. But other than that, we'll probably trash the e-box, get a new one. Then along with this one, I have this really nice Jetmate that I've been working on. And this one has the interior out for upholstery, but other than that, we just did a couple small things to it: battery, fuel lines, power and ground cables, and that was pretty much it. So this one is already got a deposit on it, and we'll do a brand new interior in it, and it should be good to go for the summer. This one is like really nice compared to most of the ones I see. Minimal cracking in the floor. They usually let crack in these corners here. No staining on the inside of the tub, which is really nice. And overall, the graphics and everything are in really good shape. So this should be a pretty good boat once the interior is done and everything. And so after that one, I have this Wave Blaster 1 that's going to need a motor. I bought this without an engine in it. So this is essentially just a bare hull right now, and it will get an engine that I have over there on the bench. So that engine's ready to go. We'll dump that in here, put the pump back in, and this one was paired up with that purple one over there, and I'd like to offload them as a pair. So that's pretty much what I have going on inside the shop. Haven't really touched the 911 in a little bit. Just got it cleaned up, good for the season. And then our other two jet skis are pretty much ready to go for the season, so we'll get those in the water soon. But other than that, I do have a new project that I just acquired, and I think that'll be our first video. We'll do some maintenance and some fluids and stuff on this 99 Cat 307 I just purchased. So I bought this so we can do some landscaping and some rock walls and redo our driveway, which is a little steep. So we should be able to do pretty much anything that I need to do. It's a decent sized machine, right around 18,000 pounds. Get the blade, a mechanical thumb, and a mechanical coupler. So for its age, it's in pretty good shape and should do everything I need it to do. So we'll get down there, we'll go through the machine a little bit, and tell you what I got planned. We'll go from there. Well, here she is. Like I said, it's a 99 Cat 307. I guess the year is has a little bit of discrepancy. The owner said it was a 99. The title says 97, and Cat says it's a 99. So it's somewhere between 99 and 97. Either way, it's a little older. It's got a nice mechanical coupler on it. It's got a big blade on the front, which is cool. And overall, it's in pretty good shape. Mechanically, it seems to be relatively well maintained. Tracks are at like 50%. Sprockets are in good shape. All the idlers and bogey wheels seem to be good. Cosmetically, it could use a little love, but overall, it seems pretty good for like a nice homeowner machine. It's got basic, it's got traditional controls and manual thumb. So I think today I'm going to get the thumb lock down so I can start using that and just kind of work it a little bit and see if I see any major issues other than the fluid service that I plan on doing. And then there's a small hydraulic leak in this hydraulic cabinet here that it looks like it's coming from one of the fittings on the manifold. I'm going to have to address a little bit, but I figure I'll get this cleaned out and get a new pad down there so I can kind of see where it's leaking from, go through it, do all the fluids, and it should be pretty good. It's got a Mitsubishi 4-cylinder in it, which seems to be pretty reliable. It does have some higher hours. It's got 8,900 hours on it. So it's definitely been used, but I guess a piece of older equipment's kind of better than any of the newer stuff out there when it gets up into higher hours like that. So we'll just go through the fluids and hopefully she treats us nice. But I think it should get done, everything we need to get done. There's our house up there. So basically I want to redo these rock walls. I'm going to level this bottom section here so I can put a swing set in and stuff. And then I'm going to redo my driveway so it's not as steep, and we're actually going to send it over to the property next door. So that should be pretty nice and get rid of some grade out of there. And I'm going to start digging all the fill out of that hill in the back there. And my plan is to get a dump truck and make a little access road over to this other property over here so I can grab the fill from in back of my house, bring it down, truck it down the road here, and dump it over here and dump it down here. So it'll be a project for sure, and I think a dump truck will certainly help. So we'll see what we can do with this machine. I'm going to see if I can get the thumb down, and we'll go from there. So I'll probably time-lapse the thumb, time-lapse me trying to pull the thumb down, and we'll work it a little bit. Alright, so thumbs on. It probably would have been a little easier with two people, but it wasn't too bad. Maybe I'll invest in a hydraulic thumb at some point, but for now I think this will work fine. I need to look in to see if there's an accessory valve in there, or I can maybe I'll steal it off the blade and pipe it up the boom, so maybe we can do a hydraulic thumb at some point. But for now I think this will work pretty good. It seems to be pretty solid, so it should move some rocks, and that's what we're going to do with it. So I'm going to move some cars and walk this thing up the driveway and get to work and see where we get. We are at the top. That thing tracked up pretty easily, no issues there. Obviously I'm still pretty green operator. I've got about maybe 100 hours on an excavator, so it's definitely going to be a learning curve as we go here. So essentially what the plan is, I'm going to move this row of rocks right here. I'm going to stack them in a pile over there, and then make myself a ramp to get up this hill. On camera it doesn't really look that steep, but it's a little steeper. And then I'm going to steal fill from up in here hopefully swing it down and then swing it down so I can level this section off. So I'm hoping to get, it's hard to see, but I'm hoping to get about 2 feet. The left side is where I want to be, the right side is a little lower. So hopefully we can level this out a little bit, and my plan is to put a little swing set over here and be able to have more of like a front yard rather than just a split level hill. So we'll see how it goes. If you paid attention to that last time lapse, you'd see I had my first mishap already, which is kind of the reason why I decided to film this kind of stuff, because I always seem to get myself into some stupid situation. But I was essentially just moving these rocks, and it was going pretty well. The machine's doing pretty good. This larger one over on the right here was a little heavier, but it seemed to pick it up good. I just had to keep it close. But anyways, I was stacking these rocks, and I had one probably about 4 feet away from my bucket, about 5 feet up in the air, and I dropped it. And it decided to roll down this hill where my very nice neighbor, who I actually purchased this house from, he stores his jet skis and his tractor here. And luckily, his tractor wasn't where it normally is. But I did roll down this embankment here and bounce off his jet ski trailer, and now it's down on the road. So I'll have to go get that at some point. And it seems like his trailer took the brunt of it, and it got the rub rail a little bit. But I went over, talked to him, and he seems to be okay with it. But it's never a dull moment, I guess. And that's why I decided to film this kind of stuff, because I always get myself into something. So I'm going to continue moving these rocks, trying not to roll them down the hill. There is a little bit of a grade here, but it shouldn't have rolled that far, but it definitely rolled pretty quick. So I'll finish moving these rocks, and we'll continue to try to flatten this area out. So I got all these rocks moved now, and I'm going to probably go grab that rock that I dropped down the hill, and then I gotta move this. This is my metal roofing for this awning over here that I need to do in the next couple weeks. So I'll probably move that over by hand so I don't dent any of the panels, and then gotta try to get this thing up this hill. I may put the thumb up so I can use the bucket and try to pull myself up a little bit, because it's pretty steep. It's hard to tell on camera, but it's pretty steep, so if I can use the bucket to help me climb up, it'll probably help out. So I'll go do all that and we'll get up the hill. So I got that crate moved, I picked up that rock in the road, and I guess the next step here is get up this hill so we can start, gonna take that fence down and start pulling fill down. So like I said, I obviously am a pretty novice operator, so we'll see how it goes getting up the hill, and I guess there's really only two options: either I'll get up the hill or I won't. So we'll see what we can do here. I think I'll try to dig it out a little bit, so it's a little more level, and throw the seat belt on and see what happens. Up top, there was definitely a couple pucker moments, but we're up there. It wasn't too bad. I tried to use the machine to kind of pull myself up while I tracked up. Obviously these tracks are like 50% or so they could be a little better, but it worked. I definitely want to get better at using my feet rather than using my hands to track the machine. That'll definitely help quite a bit. I'm still like trying to figure that out, but I guess so. Our next project here is I'm going to move that culvert and start ripping into this fence so I can grab the fill from there, and I'm gonna probably swing it here, and then I'll set up again so I can swing it down there and start leveling that all out. So we should have plenty of fill up here, and probably gonna end up having to cut some trees down and stuff, but I guess the plan is to hog this out as much as possible, and then maybe we can get a little bit of a backyard going on, because we don't really have much over here. So I guess I'll knock this fence out of the way, try not to take my deck out at the same time, and see where we get. went pretty smoothly. Unfortunately, the 55-gallon drums were something that I knew was back there. The previous owner told me they were there, so I kind of knew I was going to run into that. I was kind of hoping the fence would stay into bigger sections, but I was able to just kind of pick some of it out and then pick out the rest by hand. But there's some decent fill back here, which is nice. And I guess my plan is essentially to just open it up as much as I can, and until I run into something I can't move. So if we can get a little bit of a backyard out of it, I'll take it. If not, at least it's just free fill for all our other projects. But yeah, so I'm kind of running out of time for today, but we got some progress done, and it went pretty smoothly for the most part. Let's turn this thing on here. So yeah, it went pretty smoothly for the most part, aside from smashing my neighbor's jet ski, but overall it was pretty good. I learned a lot about the machine, which was good, and got a good baseline of how it operates and how well it works. So that way when I go do the fluids and the other maintenance stuff, if something changes, then I'll have a better idea of if I screwed something up or if the machine was always like that. So it seems to function overall pretty well. The one thing that's kind of a pain is definitely the mechanical thumb. So I may want to look into that, maybe do a hydro thumb at some point. So if you've done that on a machine or you have any knowledge on that, feel free to leave a comment down below. And that would be cool. I'm going to look into see if it's got some sort of accessory valve somewhere. It looks like it's got an accessory switch on the stick. So if not, I'll plumb it off the blade and hopefully steal the power from there. So we'll see if we can make some small improvements, but overall it looks like the machine works pretty well. So I'm pretty excited about it. I should be able to get a lot done, and overall a successful day. I got some good clickbait. I smashed my neighbor's jet ski, so maybe that's what we'll title this video. But if you have any questions, comments, constructive criticism would also be great. Obviously, this is my first go at YouTube and actually talking to people and trying to create some relatable content. So any sort of criticism would be great. So feel free to comment, like, share, and we'll catch you next time. Thanks.